So this is the book typing graphic MOGRT. As you can see, it's typing like a typewriter. It's supposed to look like a book. And let's go, with this selected, let's go over to our properties. And we've got a number of features here. First off, the background is this paper texture. You could put any paper texture in here that you would like. You can even turn down the background opacity. And of course, right here, we have the ability to change our text. And we can change the type of font. I like this Palatino linotype. It looks like a book, so I'm going to keep it. But just to show you, we can change it to any number of font. And I'm gonna make this big so you can see how the text is textured with the given background. All right, bring that font size back down. I'm going to get rid of this line to demonstrate the alignment. So we have here, obviously it's right aligned. You can select left aligned or even center aligned. And then here is where we have a slider for our duration, how many seconds we want it to be for. And this is helpful, especially if you have a much shorter text or a much longer paragraph. Brought it down to 2 seconds, so it's much quicker. We can bring it down to even less than 1 second, or drag it out to, say, 10 seconds. All right, and then of course we have this text position, which allows you to adjust the position of the text independent from the background texture. If you use the transform position, it moves the texture and everything with it. Now this composition is actually I believe it's if I remember correctly, it's a 1920 by 1920 composition, which actually makes this social media safe. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Drag this in here. Oh, sorry, click and drag this onto our timeline. Keep the existing settings. And now you can see when I hit play, this works fine with vertical video as well. So if you need it a little bit bigger, what you can do is just let's center align that. Still a little too, so you can come in here and move things to a new line. That doesn't look appealing the way I've got it, but that shows you a great example of how you can adjust this text. Now, a really cool thing that also comes with this is this little animation of a highlighter. And you can see I've got a few here because I was testing it out and fixing bugs until I got it to where I was happy with it. Okay, so in fact, this works on vertical, but I'm going to demonstrate here on this wide format. Let's reset this. Okay, and so this is a pretty large animation. You won't have any troubles with this on 4K, but I'm gonna scale it down. And what I like to do is I like to remove the scale lock so that I can adjust this as needed. Now this highlighter is looking it's clouding the text a little too much. So I'm gonna come up to the effects control with that selected, and I'm gonna change the blend mode. And depending on the color, sometimes I like to try a different options. But I mostly like to use this section here, the darken, multiply, or color burn. And you can come up here, you can change the color. So if you want like a blue highlighter, you have that there as an option. And I'm gonna extend this to fill the typing. And you can see the highlighter is not quite positioned to where I want it to be, so I can adjust the scale, I can adjust the position. So maybe I want the scale to be a little tighter. And remember, we made some adjustments earlier, so that's why this doesn't look centered, because it's not. I want to speed this text up a little bit. maybe 3 seconds. But I also want to slow down the highlighter, and so I also have a duration here, and this goes between 0 and 5 seconds. And I think I want that to be quicker, and I want it to start a little bit later. Not quite that far, so something like this. Okay. There you have it. So, I mean, you know, fairly simple, but a very powerful tool. And I use it frequently on some videos on my other channel. I'll leave a link in the description as well as the first comment, so you can check this out as well as my other motion graphic templates.